Okay, we'll call the Stark County Planning and Zoning meeting to order. It's March 30th, 2023. It's 3 p.m. First on the agenda, we have the minutes from December 1st, 2022. Is there any corrections or changes to the minutes? If not, we'll look for a motion to approve the minutes for December 1st, 2022.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Have a second? Okay. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. I guess first of all, too, I'd like to welcome two new members of our board, is Rock White and Paul Claris to the board thing.
Thank you.
Welcome. Next, we have election of officers, being we don't have a vice chair right now, so I guess I'd look for election of officers on there for chair and vice chair. You have any nominations?
Mr. Chair, I would nominate Mr. Dean Franchuk as the chair of the board. Are you doing both chair and vice chair at the same time?
I have been, I guess, the last couple of months, but not no.
Will you accept nominations for both at the same time?
Yes, we can do that.
I would also nominate Mr. Paul Claris as vice chair.
Okay, I have a motion, and do I have a second for that?
Mr. Chair, I'd second that.
Okay, is there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? If not, then I'll look for a motion to do a unanimous vote for,
Mr. Chair, I'll move that the secretary cast a unanimous ballot for Mr. Franchuk as chair and Mr. Claris as vice chair.
Second?
motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Do you have any board members on the phone at all, or? Okay. Okay, if there are none, then I guess we'll move on to the first item on our agenda. There today is a public hearing for an RZ 01-23 for Dennis and Beth Richard are requesting a rezoning from agricultural to industrial to agriculture on a partial agriculture on a parcel located in the southeast quarter of section 29, township 139 north, range 99 west, containing approximately 119.57 acres. And Mr. Prosa, you're representing Mr. Richards. You just gotta state what is reason for this.
Yes, thank you. Bob Perosi of Interstate Engineering, representing Dennis Richard. The purpose of this, he wants to farm it, he wants to revert it back to agriculture, and have it revert to ag taxes. It's simple. He doesn't, though these lots didn't sell, I believe his nephew's farming the ground. They want to farm the ground. Putting it in a nutshell.
And the road that's there, he plans to leave that in, is correct, or?
Yeah, correct. At the last, a previous county commission meeting, this was discussed, and the plan is to leave the road as is, to leave the road easement as is. So he just farm, pick up the implement, farm, pick up the implement, and farm it.
Okay.
But the road would be there, the easement would be there. It would just get farmed.
Okay. Any commissioners have any questions for Mr. Prosser?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
So that easement's there. In other words, if you guys want to run any type of utilities through there, anything that's still viable along that easement without any additional permission.
Correct. The county road easement's there, and also the easement along the east side, along Highway 85, that is there also. So there also are utilities in there now, so you can't abandon an easement where utilities are already in. That would bring the attorneys out, so you don't want to do that.
So the easement that is, excuse me, are you finished? Yeah.
Yes.
The easement that remains there is basically just a dual access road, right?
Yeah.
Because there is actually a couple of parcels that are sold and being used, so that will stay there, correct?
Yes, lots 8 and 9 traffic could go from lots 8 and 9 down to 4 and not be impeded. The road's there, the easement's there. They'd be able to run around in a circle there if they wanted to.
Any other questions? Okay, there's no other questions and recommendations from Mr. Josephson. You
Yeah.
got a public hearing, I guess, first of all, right? We have a public hearing in?
I have a question. I'm the owner of lots 8 and 9. I don't know what the procedure
Okay.
is. So
Yeah, we'll
make a vote on something. I'd
well,
like to make a comment.
we'll open the public hearing now, so then I'll let you make a comment then, okay? Okay, I'll open the public hearing on this matter then, if you're for or against, and if you want to step forward and just state your name and then state what you're,
Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Holt, and my wife and I own lots 8 and 9, which is in the upper right corner of the sketch there. And I've spoken to Dennis Richard about what he's looking at doing, but with the information that we received, I'm not clear where that 119 acres is that's referred to. It seems that, from what I see on the wall here, that it's a rectangle, a large rectangle next to a small rectangle that does not include our lot 8 and 9.
Right.
Can we get clarification on that?
yes, Mr. Prost, if you want to answer that.
If I may approach the screen.
Sure.
Boundary of a parcel to be reverted back to ag zoning. This is already ag zoning, this is industrial. And the boundary would be this heavy line right here. Line are outside of that heavy line.
For what it's worth, we as the owners of lot 8 and 9 have no objection at all.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any comment for or against this matter? Anyone else have any comments for this public hearing for this? Anybody else have any comment? If not, I'll close the public hearing then. And who's on the phone? Do we have any board members on the phone now?
Yes, Commissioner Dressler is on.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else on the phone? Okay, Mr. Joseph, you go ahead with your recommendations and.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Franchuk, Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. You have a request before you to rezone 119.57 acres from agriculture and industrial to agriculture. And just a little background, you know, those of the two of you who are on the county commission are familiar with this, but part of this lot, the eastern portion of it was part of an industrial subdivision that was created a number of years ago. And Mr. Richard had been talking to, various staff about about this. He had not sold those lots and wanted to bring them back into agriculture. So he went through the process of getting those 3 lots vacated. As was stated before, the road that was platted as part of the original plat is not vacated, so that's still an open road. But he just wanted to combine the two of them, and hence you can't rezone those 3 lots by themselves to agriculture because you need at least 40 acres for agricultural zoning. So these are just coming in. They're coming in all together. Staff recommends approval subject to the findings in the staff report. And I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, anyone have any questions for Mr. Josephson?
Mr. Joseph,
Yes.
that never was industrial zone, the bigger tract there, was it?
No, sir, it was.
They're using that to pull the other end because there isn't enough to come up with the 40 acres.
Correct, yeah, you just can't rezone. If the county approved that, they would be creating a non-conforming lot. So that's why the whole thing is included in the legal description. And if you've been out there, as was stated, there's only 2 lots out there that are being used right now, and it is predominantly agriculture out there, so.
Any other questions? If not, I'll look for a motion on this matter.
I'd move to recommend approval of the rezoning petition from from industrial and ag to ag as meeting the goals of and objectives of Stark County Comprehensive Plan.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the
I have
motion.
a second. Any other discussion? If no other discussion, then roll call vote. Commissioner Sobeluk,
Aye.
Commissioner Freilich,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard,
Aye.
Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Dressler,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, motion carries. Okay, this will go before our commission meeting of next week, Wednesday. It's moved to Wednesday next week, our meeting for that, for final approval of the county commission. Okay. Okay. Includes our items on their agenda. Is there anything for else to add for this, Mr. Josephson, or?
Yes, Chairman Franchuk, Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. Just wanted to mention a couple of things. As you're aware, the county got a grant to update its comprehensive plan. We had noticed for that and got two proposals to update it. We're going to do interviews next week. The selection committee is going to consist of Commissioners Franchuk and Claris and Freilich and Sobolik, along with myself, and then Shauna Davenport and Nikita Longren from emergency services. So we're going to be meeting with the two applicants next week, and we are hoping to be able to go to county commission with a contract in early May. So just wanted to let you know about that. And then another thing, just wanted to touch on something that we talked about at the last at the last Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. And we've discussed this with the tax director. Right now, in the zoning ordinance has a definition of a farmer as somebody who makes, a farmer's owner or tenant who earns 51% or more of their income from the operation of a farm. And that's not consistent with the state's, with the state's requirements. And we had discussed just changing this from 51% to whatever is in the century code. And I'm just looking to see if we can get a couple of members of the Planning and Zoning Commission to volunteer to meet with Tax Director Wandler and myself to discuss the change. I think there were, we have some more information to talk about, and also just show how other counties approach this in their codes, whether or not they define farmer in their code, and just talk about permitting for farmers. So I'm just looking for a couple of volunteers. to meet with us before the next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd be available for something like that.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Depending on schedule, Mr. Josephson knows that with mine. I could be,
Okay.
depending on your schedule, whatever you put together.
Okay, we'll figure something out. So we have commissioners.
Same for me, Steve, if you need anyone else, Steve, you can revert to me as the third person if you need him.
Okay, great. All right, good enough. I'll talk to Tax Director Wandler and we'll set up a meeting and just go over this. And I've also did some research as to how other counties approach this and make that available. And we can all come up with some recommendations to make in terms of possibly changing the code and current practices. And those are all the items that I have. I am anticipating getting a replat and a zoning for the next meeting, but I'll let you know as soon as that comes in. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else? Not, I'll look for a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Okay, a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, motion carries.